right? But like either way, I don't truly care what someone outside of my real personal life thinks. At least like if it's negative, like I'm not gonna lose sleep over it or trip over that. But like I would say mainly for me, it's mostly with family and you know, people closest to me, because
care
especially
about them the most.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
well, and like I said, like with the, you know, how like people might start to act concerned for you, or like at the end of the day, like it's a sucky thing to deal with, but like it's not all from a bad place. In fact, most of it's really not at all. It's just they care about you and they have a different way of looking at life, you know? They're not wrapped into music like you are 24/7, so you can't expect them to understand it fully. But it's just mainly like there's just been a lot of fucking disappointment, to say it nicely, like in certain parts of my family. So it's like I dropped out of high school, right? I ended up getting an HSE, which is the equivalency, but I did drop out. And I remember when that happened, like I could just feel the energy, bro.
Oh shit.
radiating.
You know what I mean? I
off,
completely
I was
feel it,
wasting
man.
my time, bro, because I knew I wasn't gonna do shit. Like I always told myself I'm gonna get better grades this semester, whatever, and I never did. And like, you know, I did, you know, get an alternative for it, but like I just remember when that happened, certain family members, like I could just feel their energy start to become this like concerning, like, oh, like he's starting to show tendencies
He's
of like
not gonna make it.
yeah, and just a lot of shit like that.
Vince, you were gonna say something when they
I was gonna say that, like you talking about who you looked to for approval and a lot of things. I've been sending you guys some stuff to where I probably in the past wouldn't have. I don't. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I feel like I
With
trust you
writing
guys
and
enough
stuff.
to
opening up and
Yeah.
and sharing what you've been writing, and support is honestly, it really does play a big part, because I mean, when I tried doing some like a casting call, or either like for either like actor or even doing like some model thing.
It's like finding talent.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
something like that. And one of the questions on there was like, does your household support, you know, pretty much what you're trying to pursue? Like
Yeah, that
I'm
is.
surprised
And I
about
was
that.
like-
Kinda.
and I had a video call with them, and literally they asked to speak with one of my one of the people that supported
Let me
me.
talk to your mom.
Janessa
was
stepped up.
Janessa.
Yeah, Janessa stepped up.
Shout
and
out
she,
Janessa.
yeah, she did good
She
with
said
it.
support it. Motherfucker,
Yeah.
I'm all about
No,
it.
for real, she did. She like paid me some money so I could do it as well. Like, so I mean, like, thankfully I had a good support around me. Not everybody can say that, and even if it were to be your mom, like, I'm not even gonna lie, like I've wrote some stuff and then asked my mom, because
Yeah.
my mom likes T.I. and shit. Like you know what I mean? She likes all kinds of different like music. So like, even though she'd be like, "Oh yeah, it's good," I'm like, "Yeah, you're just saying that. You're my mom. Of course you're gonna say that." And then you're like, "This shit slaps." Let me
shit
fucking- I just
I
killed
just
her.
send it to the homies.
Let me keep writing. So a good support system is, I mean, it's critical in your game. Not to say that you can't make it without it, because like really it all comes down to why you're doing it, and what you want to do. So, it's just
What about you, Alex?
yeah, the obstacles.
I mean, I'd say like at the beginning, I've only been like making music for like a year or two. Like
Okay.
I'm still like hella fresh to it. But like for the longest time in the beginning, like say the support structure thing, I think a big thing was, you know, proving to myself, like, cause it just came out of nowhere. I just started doing it. I hadn't thought of it like ever. And I remember for the longest time, like say my parents, when I was still living there, like I don't want to say they were like against it, but like they didn't believe in it.
Yeah.
Right. And for the longest time, like I didn't ever really, head on think about it, but you know, that definitely did affect me. And that was like a roadblock for the longest time. But it also fueled me, you know, I'd go over to like my buddy's house and just record like all through the night, you know, until like I had work next or whatever. But I mean, now that I have my own place and like I'm established with the music stuff, and it's, you know, now it's not like weird. It's not like new or anything like that.
How do your parents treat it now?
Now that I've moved out and all that, they love it.
Yeah.
I mean, it blows my mind because like I didn't think they'd like this type of stuff I make, but you know, I'm okay with it.
Right.
But now it's definitely a lot more of a, I'd say putting myself to like be cool with it, right? Like not letting all this like stupid stuff hold me back, right? Like, cause say now I could sit there and send demos to people that I know are going to like give me that honest feedback when I need it. and, you know, not let my own self be like, oh, well, you know, put it off till later, you know, maybe, but like I'll work on it more. And I mean, I'm working on that though, because I mean, you have to. How else are you going to like break out of it? That, and you got to go through like evolutions. Like I view it as like, I always think about dropping albums just because it's like, it explains whatever you're going through at the time. And I put out like my first album on my birthday in January.
What was the name of that?
Don't Overthink It.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
When was that?
January 12th.
Okay.
And that was like all the best songs that I'd made since I started. And so now like the next like thing I'm doing is whatever the next album is, it's going to be all the best songs from then. And I think overcoming the hurdle of like, you know, not being able to decide that it should be good enough in my own head. Right. Because I mean, you can always say it's always something else is going to be better, but like, I mean, you keep waiting, you'll be on a treadmill.
Yeah. So when you do send those demos, does that kind of give you that like self-approval? Like, okay, you know, these people that do trust me, they're fucking with it. Let me re-listen to it. Okay.
Give you some assurance.
Yeah, some insurance. I got to stop being so critical and hard on myself. And now I know that people, you know, can agree with that. Cause at the end of the day, once you get into music and start doing it, say even art, say fucking riding bikes, doing BMX, everything, you know, you got the shit. You know, you got the skills.
Yeah. Yep.
But it's that doubt that can just keep you back. Even when you're by yourself at the crib. You know what I mean? You can be like, damn, I've been thinking about this song for so long. I got it out. I'm finally able to do it. Why do I feel like it's not it? You know, why do I feel like it's not enough? And I don't think that really is. Most of the time you don't have the skills. It's that self-doubt that is like, oh, I was giving you that energy to get it out, but now that it's out, oh, it's not good enough. Why was I doing it and it felt so great?
Right.
Why wasn't I was thinking about it? It felt so great. But now that it's done, it's right here, right in front of me. What happened? You know what I mean? And
there's different levels in life where you learn that, because I mean, like you said, like it took you, I mean, you got out of the house and you're able to be more I guess you can use more like tenacity with this now. Like you can actually continuously work on your craft and see what really, you can actually go hard about it now. In a spot in your life, you weren't able to do that because you were kind of, you know, in a different spot. So it's like later on down the road, it's like there's going to be so many experiences and different things that we face where I believe that just staying true to whatever, you know, you are sure about what you want to do, then I think you know, anybody has the potential to become, you know, great at it.
Oh yeah. Because not letting yourself be like overcritical to where you don't let it happen. Right. Nothing's going to do well if you don't drop it.
Exactly. And you said like, you said something about like the skateboarders and stuff, like, you know, you have the talent, like some people aren't like gifted with that, like, with that ability,
you're gonna fall.
You know what I mean? Some people gotta, you have to fall. You must fall
to learn
and pick up, because there's gonna be those moments in life. Boom. It's gonna, you know, continuously happen. And it's like, just gotta pick up that will to continue. Yeah,
oh yeah. That, and I think a lot of it, especially for me, is, I don't know, that like that hurdle or whatever that's upcoming. That's, for me, that's the thing that keeps me going though. Cause I mean, if I just immediately was able to just like jump to being like good at everything or whatever, then like what's the point of doing it?
Exactly.
Like,
We've said that before. Yes.
Yeah.
That's such a good point.
I got a question. Is there a certain person or I guess like idol in your life that you got your work ethic from?
Ooh. Or like style even?
Shit. I'd say like I definitely like just obsessed over like artists like growing up all the time, because like I mean they're dope as hell. They're like on a stage, people are watching them.
How old are you again, bro?
I'm 20.
Okay, 20 years.
I look
old.
like it's the baby face.
No, I mean they like it though.
Oh, yeah. But I'd say I know more nowadays. It's like I'll sit there and just like, I don't know. I have a fuck ton of respect for Cobain. Like I'll just sit there and like, I don't know. I feel like if I could have a conversation with that dude, I'd fuck with him heavy.
Yeah.
But say, I don't know. I didn't get into Juice until probably like after he died.
Yeah.
But I mean, say his work ethic. Like, bro would just be in the studio all day.
Right.
Like all he did was record. And that was like, I remember like listening to just be like, I want to do that. Like that's dope. Imagine all I had to do was just go to a studio all day. That's dope. Like, and it's those things that are just like, I don't know, when I'm working on a song, like, yeah, some of it's tedious, like cutting out breaths and shit's fucking annoying. But I mean, reminding myself that like, nah, remember when you were sitting there like just dreaming about when you finally had the mic, you know?
When
like,
you were able to do it.
Yeah.
I feel you, bro. Dreaming about, once I get this equipment, I'll be able to do that.
Yeah. So
And
I got to
here we
like
are.
remind myself like, oh, so now that I'm a step up, I'm just going to like pretend I didn't feel that way. Like,
Right.
I mean, you got
get
to
it.
stay humble and remember all that. And that's work ethic.
But you gotta
I mean,
pat your back sometimes.
Yeah.
I was listening to a guy earlier talk about he kept every Christmas he kept dreaming that he wanted a MacBook so he could like start doing music and shit like that. Well, finally one birthday he got like this old iPhone, and so he started like downloading apps and started making all his music on there, just like doing what he could with he called it the bare maximum.
Oh,
Instead of
that's
the bare
dope.
minimum, like turning it into like he's like I didn't need that fucking MacBook.
Kanye
in
did
that.
a whole
Yeah,
album.
I like
that.
that.
He's like I didn't need that MacBook in the first place. All I needed was something just to get started.
yeah, that's so impressive. Like I started out with like a white snowball from Walmart, and you wouldn't even be able to tell.
I got
bro.
the snowball at the
Yeah.
crib. For a USB mic, it's not bad, bro. It's not bad.
I made this like stand for it.
You rigged up a stand?
It was like a mechanic's light stand post, and then I took a cardboard box
That's dope.
and like just jerry rigged it and put like towels inside of it or whatever for soundproofing.
Oh, yep.
It was the jankest thing ever, but I felt
worked.
so good looking
Yeah.
at it. I was like, dude.
You're like, this is
We're
dope.
here,
And
yeah.
you did it yourself.
Oh yeah.
What about you,
times,
Andy?
bro.
People, and I was also gonna say like, even sports. You know what I mean? I don't know if you guys are super into sports. Even sports figures can
Kobe.
give you that. But Kobe, bro, like
yeah.
Kobe,
Always in the
oh,
gym.
Always,
Yeah.
who's gonna be in the gym?
Yeah.
So who do you think?
I would say I'll give an artist too, since he did. It has to be Juice, just because, you know, the amount of leaks and, you know, all the unreleased music and all the albums that they've released themselves. Like that dude recorded so much, and like that's always like my mindset whenever I'm recording is to try to do as much as I can, and every song I do, give it as much as I can, you know? So when it comes to music specifically and like artists, definitely Juice. And I'd also definitely say my dad and my grandpa would be the other two, just because I would say for my dad runs his own business, and that alone, a lot of respect for that. And he just never, you know, it's similar to music, just in a different way, but like, you know, starting a business is pretty risky too. And he stuck with it. And now they are completely fucking established down there. Like they have a group of people that come in every single day just to talk shit. Like they don't even buy stuff some days. They just come in there to hang out. So like that's pretty fucking commendable. And then my grandpa, just because he worked the same place for about 50 years. So that alone, a lot of respect for that too.
That's dedication.
It was
bro.
like
a
a-
lot of people can't do
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Commitment.
It's like a 3 a.m. shift too, something like 3 a.m.
Wow.
to 3 p.m. at Allison's.
Yeah, I know Allison, my brother-in-law, works there.
Like
Yeah.
automotive,
Yeah,
Wow.
down Speedway.
right there when you drive on, bro. I love driving down that area, bro.
Yeah, I toured that building one time with them too because they had an event. It was really cool to see it, but just his demeanor and the way that he conducts himself, like doesn't matter what happens, or like, you know, let's say like someone's in a bad mood and they're acting stupid or they're acting crazy. Like his reaction is to always evaluate the situation and then act. He's just very good at like picking his spots and when to give his advice or anything. Like
He's not
just,
gonna like just snap off. Like,
yeah,
boom.
he's just a smart dude, and like immediately, like when you talk to him, he gains your respect just naturally because he's a calm presence, but you can tell he's very like intelligent. And I always just try to be like him because I know sometimes I'm not. So like just try to keep myself in check sometimes.
I like how you brought up somebody, you brought up an artist, and then you brought up two that were just that are good role models in your life, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it takes all, you know what I mean? Like that's part of the steps of how and why you are the worker that you are. Like,
Yeah.
okay, maybe schooling wasn't the thing that you know were
Excelled at.
passionate about, or you know what I mean? Yeah, exactly, excelled at. But there's other areas and other strengths that you have that where you know that you could put in this work, and you have this work ethic if it's worth it to you, and
Exactly.
this is worth it to you. This is what you want to accomplish. So
Yeah, and plus, like, not everyone has those people in their family.
Yeah,
so,
those
like,
role
if
models.
you have people like that, you have to be thankful for it. Like,
Totally.
you gotta like sit back
Totally.
and really think, like, damn,
yeah,
like, 'cause-
and you look at them and, like, thinking about like, damn, you're actually putting some hard work. I respect that. You know what I mean? Just to even respect that. Some people would just be like, dad's going to work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's got his own business. You know, he's running it. He's working in it. You know what I mean? And he's doing it well. Not, you know what I mean? Keeping a good head about it. Like, it's good to notice these things in people and just be a sponge. You know what I mean?
Fly on the wall.
Soak up everything you observe.
Totally.
Like, that's how you learn in life, I feel like.
I wanted to ask you guys, what drives you to want to even do anything, you know?
I would say mainly just, you know, because we did a lot of talking about, you know, approval from others and all that. But at the end of the day, like, I've always known deep down that, like, I just want to feel content with the life that I build and what I surround myself with. And like, one example I can kind of give, like, it relates mostly, but like, I had a talk with one of my friends one time, and long story short, he was going to invite someone over that I didn't really want to come over. Right. And I just, like, I listed out a bunch of people, and I was like, you see, like, all these people that we're friends with? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, they're good people, aren't they? He's like, yeah. And I was like, that's how I like it. Like, I don't have a lot of friends, but all
Quality.
the people that I have kept in touch with or kept close, like, I can see myself being, you know, friends with them when I'm 40, and just, you know, even if it's just meeting up every other month to drink and, you know, bitch about life, like, those are the people I want to do it with. Right.
Right.
But really just, like, feeling like I've done everything to maximize my life. And like, that's why at the end of the day, like, you know, with the situation I'm in now, I don't regret it at all, because all the stuff, all the music I have right now, and like all the other stuff I have to show for it, just like learning wise, and like even just like improvement in production, stuff like that, I wouldn't have that right now if I didn't allow myself to fully dive in a little bit, you know? And a lot of people don't agree with that mindset, but like, I look at life in a really weird way. Like, we could definitely explore that in other podcasts. But I mean, I just feel like as long as I feel like I've done the best I can with what I know and what I'm able to do, then I feel like I'll be happy.
That's what's going to keep you going.
Exactly. And for the people I love too, and to make sure that they're all good too, obviously.
Going hard for them.
Shit, I'm not even gonna lie. I think the money's a big thing. I
Okay.
mean, not even
in that bag.
Well, 'cause, like, think about it. Once, because like, say anything like creative wise, once you like have money coming in, it's like that itself, like that number in your account is the validation. It's like, okay, yeah, no, like, you know. And I think for me, a lot of that is, you know, say, like, growing up, I always thought like money made you, like, validated you or whatever, because like we were like poor or whatever the fuck. And so like that in itself would make me be like, okay, yeah, no, what I was doing, like all the times I was like sitting there guessing shit, like this is like the answer to it. And then also, you know, say, imagine, like, you ever like sit there and imagine if you could talk to yourself as like a little kid, and just like what that little kid would think of you. Like, I want to make sure he'd think I'm badass.
Totally, yeah.
Okay.
I
Like,
thought about that. Yeah,
That's
you
dope.
know,
yeah.
That's real, bro.
so I think a lot of it is just, you know, remembering that shit that like was what you wanted at the end. Because like you get blindsided once you like start going up steps and shit. It's like, nah, I remember that feeling when I was like laying in bed and I was just like, oh man, if only I could like
Dreaming.
Yeah. So that's that and the money, yeah, for sure.
He said that.
Like, I mean, I don't know. Money doesn't buy happiness, but it sure solves a lot of problems, you feel?
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds about right to me.
I was seeing something about that. It's like if you were given $10,000 cash, I mean, you'd be happy, and
Be in a good-ass
guarantee
mood,
it'd probably
yeah.
solve maybe a problem.
Right.
That and I want to know what it's like to tour real bad. I feel
Okay.
like that'd be fun as hell. Like, it could be real bad if you don't handle it well. But I don't know. I feel like, imagine walking out on a fucking stage and seeing just a shit ton of people like waiting for you. Like, that'd blow my fucking mind,
Yeah.
personally.
It's crazy,
Would you say
bro.
like the glory would drive you, or would you say would it be like the fame of it, or just the
flame,
the flame under the fire that burns you?
I'd say, I mean, I definitely feel like, you know, knowing I have this like general respect from like an audience, it was definitely something I, you know, think would
of
be
the
dope.
craft that you're
Yeah,
putting
but
out.
overall, like fame or whatever, like, I mean, I feel like anybody when you know, is lying if they say like, oh, I don't want people to know me. But I mean, I want people to know me and know my stuff because of what it is and like the value that's in it, not just like, oh, he's Alex and he's DWZ. Like, no, his song's fucking good. Like, that's more or less it.
Oh, okay, I see. It's the respect of it, you know, because
you can be famous, but like that doesn't mean you're
Yeah,
shit.
sometimes famous we got some famous people that are fucking douchebags. A lot of
Yeah.
fucking like crazy ass famous people for fucked up reasons.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of them have fucked up reasons, and then somehow they turn it to like now
It's
they're like
good.
good people
Yeah,
or
right,
something.
yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck? How did that even happen?
Fame's something else, man.
Because it's all like an image almost, you know what I mean? There's always that underlying, you know what I mean? But I mean, also a lot of them get caught up in that image as well, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I almost feel like in a different sense, Connor did that to
Connor?
himself.
Yeah, okay.
Conor
Man, we
McGregor.
could talk
Oh,
about
yeah.
that for a long time.
Right.
But I think that's perfectly spot on.
That was his demise.
He's like a different person now, dude.
I think we're almost
Reaching
done
about the end.
with our time limit. So,
You guys
I mean,
got
we
any?
should talk about some of that stuff another time. Like, let's
Yeah.
do that. Now we got some other things to explore because I definitely want to get you guys back on here and just hang
Yeah.
out with
Some
you
cool
too. It's
topics, bro.
Yeah. Is there anything that you guys wanted to get out there or
I mean-
plug or whatever?
I mean, I'll plug stream my music. It's DWZ on any platform. I don't have any dates for when I'm releasing anything yet because over here just overthinking it. But I don't know. I know when I was like thinking of coming on here, I remember like one of the things I was like trying to tell myself to like make sure I do is just like, because this is the beginning of like my image if you look me up, right?
There you
Or never
go.
like actually seeing me besides the artistry stuff. Like I was